Right, let's be honest. It's late into January now. The new year, new me hype has worn off. The 6 a.m. sessions are a little bit harder than they were at the start of January, and you've probably missed a few sessions. Firstly, I get it. I see it with both my in-person clients and my online clients. January is notoriously a hard time of year to actually make a transformation and make progress. It's a hard time of year to make a lifestyle change, but it can be the best time of year if done right. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how I set my clients up for long-term success, whether it be fat loss, muscle building, or just building a better lifestyle overall. I'm going to show you the methods I use and the reasoning behind them. Let's get into it. Now, keeping it real, January is just a shit time of year. You know, it's cold, it's dark, it's wet. If you live in the UK, you're coming home in the dark, you're going to work in the dark, you don't see much daylight. And as much as you want to make a lifestyle change, it's difficult because, you know, the drive might not necessarily be there. You've got that new year, new me hype, but after a few weeks, it starts to wear off. And this is where the real work begins. The best thing I say to people is you have to sort of reset your thinking. You have to remind yourself that it is, as cringy as it sounds, it is a marathon, not a sprint. And that, you know, you're not going to be fixed by February, whatever your goal is, be it fat loss or muscle gain. It's not going to be completed by February. The people that you look up to have been, you know, training hard and on job with their nutrition, lifestyle, everything for years. And sometimes it takes years. You know, you can make significant progress in 1 year. People underestimate the progress that you can make in a month. But, you know, they don't realize what you can achieve in a year. And it's as simple as that, basically. So just changing your mindset of, you know, not 30-day fixes, but making the lifestyle changes, building the healthy habits and doing it properly. I want to tell you about a conversation I had with one of my in-person personal training clients. Now, I'm not going to let you know his name, but he lost over 32 kilo last year, which is insane. And we was having a conversation about what happened last year, other than training with myself, of course, made him actually make the lifestyle change and lose the 32 kilo. And one of the big things for him that he said was, with my help and understanding of just that you shouldn't take it day by day, and that you should realize you just need to be consistent with it. Things like scales will fluctuate. You'll have good weeks, you'll have shit weeks, but just being consistent overall is actually what makes the progress and drives that, you know, big progression towards your goals. Because it can be frustrating when you have a shit week and, you know, you step on the scale and it's the same. But he said this was typically the time that he would then go, oh, fuck this, and, you know, and chin it off. Whereas because he didn't and he was consistent with it, that's how he made the progress over last year. He just remained consistent, and that's what you need to be doing. You need to almost like zoom out, essentially, you know, look at it from a bird's eye view. Yes, you may have had a crap week or maybe even a couple of weeks, but you know, the time is going to pass anyways, so you may as well just continue on the path. Yes, okay, you need to make adjustments to the plan. There's exceptions to the rule sometimes, but consistency overall is what's going to create the progress. So if you're watching this video, it's very likely that that new year, new me hype has fallen now. It's crashed and the motivation is gone and it's in the bin, and you're struggling to progress towards your goals. What you need to do is you need to build structure, systems, and the lifestyle implementation that's personalized for you. Doesn't matter what worked for your friend or what worked for your favorite influencer. It's your goals. You need to make it work for you. Before I go into detail about how I create this structure, this is actually what you get inside of my one-to-one online personalized coaching program. So if you click the link listed in the description, that'll take you to my one-to-one online coaching inquiries, in which we can jump on a call, discuss your goals, and I myself can use my expertise to set you a personalized training plan, nutrition plan, workout plan, activity plan, and everything that you're going to need to make your transformation. So these are the keys to how you stop falling off your New Year's resolution. Firstly, you need to build a training plan. You need to build one that works for you, you only, one that hits the areas that you want to target, hits your weak points. You need to make sure it works day to day, and then you can fit it in, and then it's realistic. If you program 6 sessions that are 2.5 hours long and you can't do that because you've got childcare and XYZ, don't fucking do them. Make a plan that works for you, okay? So, you know, whether that's training before or after work, making sure that it fits your time. Maybe even have some alternatives in the bank. So some 30-minute fast sessions that you can do in case you've got to get home. That is the best way to program your training. So the next and arguably the biggest lever you can pull is nutrition. You need to be dialed in with nutrition. I myself, before I became a personal trainer and an online coach, was very heavy into the gym, of course, which is what led me to where I am today. But one thing that I wasn't hot on was my nutrition. My nutrition was awful. I ate okay, but it wasn't great. And it was only when I myself got a coach for over 3 years and really dialed in my nutrition and learned the basics of nutrition, how to fuel myself, how to, portion control. I absolutely progressed just like this, because nutrition is so important. Your body is, the only vehicle you're ever going to get. So why not put the best fuel in it, the right amount? If I gave you a Ferrari and said you've got to keep it forever and it's the only car you're ever going to have, of course you're going to oil it, clean it, put the best fuel in it. Your body is no different. So start treating it right. Start putting good quality food in, whole foods, healthy foods, minimizing the amount of shit. Obviously, everything in moderation. If you fancy a pizza and a beer one night, have that. But, don't restrict that. But you also need to make sure that if you're wanting to achieve these big goals that you've got set, then you need to make sure that nutrition is dialed in. You need to be eating the right amount. So you need to be working out your macros, how many calories you should be having a day, protein targets, as well as making sure that you are getting these. Tracking calories on apps like MyFitnessPal gets a lot of shit, but it also gets you quite far towards your goals. So even if you just do it for a month, just so that you get a bit more of an idea of portion sizing and what, calories are and, the sizing of each meal, it makes a massive difference. So do it for at least a month, just once in your life, and then it's done. So one massively overlooked thing, especially this time of year in January, is everyone gets that big hit of motivation. They go all out, balls to the wall for the 4 weeks, and then they're injured / knackered and they can't move. Recovery is so important. So firstly, if you're someone who hasn't trained that much, or trained previously to January and you're on a new year, new me grind, then start slow, build it up. You will get more accustomed to the volume of training, and you can always increase. But what I will say is just manage what you're doing. You don't want to be pushing yourself right to the limit every single day, because at the end of the day, you're going to burn out, okay? It needs to be sustainable. You need to be having at least 1 to 2 rest days a week. I tell this to a lot of my clients, is that I used to train 6 days a week. And I used to do quite a lot of volume. And again, going back to when I got my first coach, he dropped that down to 5 days a week, some weeks even 4 days a week. And I made more progress in 1 year, in that first year, by dropping my volume slightly than I did in 5. So that goes to show you that, progress is stress plus rest equals growth. There you go. So the last thing, and arguably one of the most important things, is lifestyle implementation. So you can have the best training plan, you can have the best nutrition plan, eating the highest quality foods, but if it doesn't work for you, it's not going to progress you towards your goals. So you need to be adaptable and make the plan work for you. So one of the biggest things I see as well at the minute is a lot of all or nothing mindsets and, grind sets and, work till failure, everything like that, sleep 4 hours a night, all that sort of shit. Ignore that. You need to make it sustainable and that works for you. If you make great progress in 4 weeks, but then you burn out so hard that you can't carry on, it's not going to work. Let's say, for example, you decide to go sober for January, and for the 31 days you don't drink, and it's your mate's birthday on the 29th and you decide to have a beer. You could completely throw yourself off the bandwagon and be like, right, that's it, I've had a drink now, fuck it, whole plan goes out the window. Or you could understand, you slipped up, but then it was your best mate's birthday, so it's understandable, and then get straight back to plan. Progress doesn't have to be 100% all in or 100% all out. You just need to be consistent with it. And consistency really is the key. It's that simple. So in short, just make sure you're absolutely nailing the basics. If you dial in your training plan, making sure you're hitting your sessions, not missing them, and doing the sessions weekly and progressing, if you dial in your nutrition, making sure you're either hitting your calories, be it for a deficit or a surplus or maintenance, making sure you're eating high quality foods, and just stay consistent week on week. Do that for a year, nail the basics for a year, and you will see so much progress. It's crazy. People underestimate how much progress you can make by just simply nailing the basics. You don't need the latest peptide or the latest this or the latest that. Just nail the fucking basics with a good high standard and a good level of discipline. You will be shocked at how much progress you can make in a year. I guarantee you that. And take it week by week instead of day by day, because speaking from experience, I done a photo shoot prep last year, and there would be like 3 or 4 days, and I was dialed in. I was as dialed in as you can be. But there would be days where the scales just didn't move, and it is so frustrating because I know the science of it, and it would still annoy me. So I can understand how it would annoy general population, but just stay consistent with it. And as always, it worked, and it will carry on going down, providing the plan is right. So make sure you've got some expertise in your corner. But as I said, because I stayed consistent, I fought through it, I just carried on, the weight eventually dropped. And that's what you've got to do. Stay consistent, week on week, zoom out, make sure what you're doing is right, and then just keep ticking it on. So that is the structure that I use with my clients that are new, that are joining in January, to build them a good foundation, to make sure that, you know, we don't just do the January 30-day sprint and then fall off and disappear and start again in January. I like to make sure that my clients stay long term, build the healthy habits, and actually make the progress on their goals that they set, because the biggest reward for me is seeing them hit their goals. And that's exactly why I got into PTing and online coaching. It makes my day when I see clients achieving their goals. So I hope you found something in this video useful, whether that be a little bit of motivation or some expertise and maybe a bit of guidance in the areas that you're lacking. Now, if this has helped you and you would like some structure done by myself and a bit of accountability as well to get you to your goals and make sure we're not just going to crash out after that motivation wave dips, click the first link to my bio. That'll take you to my one-to-one online coaching inquiries link, where you can hop on a call, discuss your goals, see if we're a good fit for one another, and then we can get working together. I look forward to speaking to you.